Hey everybody, today we are making gumbo and I am going to make a gumbo where you don't have to make a roux. I have a little trick to my gumbo because I cannot stand sitting up there making roux for 30 to 40 minutes for gumbo. So I do have a little fake out little secret that I'm going to show you that does also add flavor. So, I just want y'all to sit back and enjoy this video. I put everything in here: crawfish, crab, shrimp, chicken, everything, andouille sausage, smoked sausage. Like, this gumbo really packs a lot of flavor, and I was able to feed a whole bunch of people, family, and so on and so forth with this gumbo, and I think y'all really gonna enjoy it too. So, in my Dutchie pot, getting hot, and you do want it hot before you put those chicken thighs in, I added some olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, whatever you want. And in that hot pan, lay down those chicken thighs. Now, I haven't seasoned them yet. We're going to season them throughout the cooking process because with this gumbo is about just building flavors, building flavors, building flavors, building flavors. So I think I put about maybe 6 chicken thighs, skinless, boneless chicken thighs in there. And then we're going to start adding some seasoning and so on. Okay, so for seasoning, I pretty much just use Goya adobo, crushed red pepper, cayenne pepper, and I use a little black pepper and some oregano. I would have added some dried thyme if I had it, but I'm out of dried thyme, so I didn't have that. So, and then you're going to just do it on each side, and then when it's time for the chicken to flip, you're just going to re-season the other side as well. You can pre-season this chicken if you would like to, but I was in a rush just to get it going, so I just want to get my chicken in the pot. And there's that cayenne pepper right there. We are also going to use some Slap Your Mama seasoning because the person who originally taught me how to make gumbo taught me to use Slap Your Mama seasoning on the chicken. So we're just going to check those pieces and see if they're nice and brown. And once they're brown, we're going to end up turning them over, which I did here. And we're going to just repeat that whole seasoning process that we just did before. Now, there's no measurement to this seasoning. It's all up to you. It's what you like, you put on there. If you want a lot of cayenne, put a lot of cayenne. If you want, a good amount of salt, use a lot of the Goya adobo salt. Seasoning salt. It's up to you. This is basically all on your liking for this part because we're just building flavors. Now, once they get seasoned on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and put in my andouille sausage. And like I said, I had some smoked sausage as well. My preference is Savoy's andouille sausage, but I could not find it. So I think I got like a Pepperidge Farm, Johnsonville sold a Cajun-style andouille sausage. And then I use just like regular smoked sausage. So we're just going to mix all of that because what I do like to get a little caramelization on the sausage because to me it develops more flavor when you do that. So we're just going to stir this around for a little bit and do that. And then we're going to get ready to start to add our vegetables once we get a little color on the sausage. Almost like how old school bologna, how you used to do that. That's kind of what you're looking for. Then you're going to put in about 3 or 4 stalks of chopped up celery, and then we're going to use 2 bell peppers, red and green, and pour that in there. And then we're going to add in about 3 white onions, just all diced up. It can be country ass diced if you want to, because this is gumbo. The onions are pretty much going to cook away anyway. So, it's all good how you cut them up. It ain't got to be perfect. So then we're going to go ahead and just go mix all of that in together and get all that fatness at the bottom to coat all of those vegetables. And we're going to allow that stuff to just start to marry and taste really, really good together and get all yum, yum, yum. And then we are going to use my fake out. So this is what I do. I do not use a roux. I use Louisiana Cajun gumbo base. And this is why. If you burn your roux, you got to start over. And that's a whole other 30 or 40 minutes of doing that. And I ain't trying to do all that. So basically what I do is I take about 3 packages of this gumbo mix, and then I add water. I think I added like 5 to 6 cups of water. It don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to follow the direction on the back of it because I'm using chicken broth for my flavor broth. But this is what's going to thicken it. And now what I do is I just rub the little powder flour pellets out of it so that it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to end up adding that to our pot. But first we're going to add a large can of Rotel tomatoes. If you don't like tomatoes, you do not have to do it. Just like okra. I didn't put okra in here because the folks that I'm cooking for, all of them don't like okra. They want the sliminess, so I didn't put it in. But that's okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to add in some garlic. That's about 6, 7, 8 cloves of garlic there. And then we're going to put that whole large can of original Rotel in there. And really just mix all that in together as well. And that Rotel has some liquid in it, so that's going to help too. to bring that nice stock of broth that we're going to have together. And we're going to mix all that around. Then we're going to go in with our Slap Your Mama seasoning. And I put a really good amount of this in there. I really do. So we put that in there. And like I said, that's a complete up to you thing. If you don't want a lot, don't put a lot. If you don't, if you want a little bit, just put a little. It's completely up to you on what you want. If you don't want to use Slap Your Mama, don't use Slap Your Mama. You can do Tony Satchery's Creole seasoning or make your own Creole seasoning. It's completely up to you. This is your gumbo, and it's how you want to eat it, how you want it is what you're gonna do. All right, so here we go in with that gumbo base that I use for like my roux. And y'all, this makes it so much more easier without having to make roux and all that for gumbo. It makes it so much easier. So you go ahead and you mix all that in, and then I put 2 3-pound containers of chicken broth in there as well. So that goes, and after we get all that chicken broth in there, what we're going to do is we're going to allow this to just cook really low and slow. So I put it on medium low. You don't want it on medium. You don't want it on high. Even though you didn't use a traditional roux, this gumbo base can still burn and stick to the bottom. And you don't want, the last thing you want, I hate to eating gumbo and tasting that burnt roux. Ugh. It's disgusting. You can smell it too. I just hate it. But you still can burn this gumbo base, which is your thickener. You still can. So you want to make sure that you have it on low, medium, low is where you want it. And just keep coming back. And I kept checking it about every 20 minutes or so. And I stirred the bottom and made sure that nothing wasn't sticking so that the base would not burn and give that burnt flavor. So, just kept checking it, and kept it low and slow and let it reduce. I think I might have let this gumbo cook for like 2 hours. Then I used some crab claw that I picked up at my local Publix. That's just going to add some seafood flavor, as well as we're going to add in some shrimp, and we're going to add in some crawfish that are also going to add to that flavor. Now, funny thing is, I don't eat the crawfish. I don't. I just like them in there for the flavor that they give. So I bought a bag of frozen crawfish and added those in there. You do not have to use frozen crawfish. You don't have to use crawfish, period, if you don't want to. You can use dried shrimp. You find that in your Asian store, and that also puts a nice, good flavor in there as well. So we're just going to cover that up and let it continue to slowly cook. As you can see, I added the snow crab. I've had like 3 snow crab clusters, and I broke them up and put them in there with the crawfish and everything. And then we're just going to throw in the shrimp. As you can see, there's a shrimp right there. I added shrimp, and I add as much shrimp as you want. If you want a lot, put a lot. If you don't want a lot, don't put a lot. That's just how I do mine. I think I put like maybe a bag of like really jumbo shrimp in mine. And so basically, that's it. I mean, that's gumbo, and you just enjoy it. Put it on top of some white rice. Thank y'all for joining me again. Bye-bye.